to a memory from when you were at the kickback, a hang. And I'm going to ask that you have a moment of storytelling, a brief moment. Just tell us a little bit about what was happening at that time, how you were feeling, things that transpired. Keep it short, but we're going to keep it a little bit brief if possible. And then I'll give you a moment to think about it. I'm going to just back up a little, give you space to think. You have your moment? Okay, absolutely. Here you go.
So once upon a time, my name is Neptune 21, and these are my people actually. So I'm gonna talk about the time where we was at a kickback together. On Juneteenth, Angie and I, we have an apartment, so we invited some friends to come over. We so-called said we was gonna have ourselves a cookout, but it started raining, so it was a cook-in, really. And one of the things that we like to do in our house is always like just be very intimate in terms of like connectedness, like really having conversation, not just sitting around being on the phone. So we got this really wild game of Uno. What's the
No Mercy.
It's called Uno No Mercy. Basically, this Uno game is like none that you ever played before. And if you haven't played it, don't play it at your kickbacks. I'm telling you, it's not gonna end fast. It like goes on forever. It's like you can pass somebody a card, or you can put your card out, and whatever the card is, that card could be telling you to pass your whole hand to another person. You know. But the game got really intense. We were playing for probably like 3 hours, and I just think that it was the most amount of like what did you say, like hard laughs and a little bit of attitude and sassiness with some of the people that were there. But but it was just it was a beautiful moment to share, you know what I mean, with all of my friends as we came together to honor, you know, our ancestors and our culture.
Steve, I'm seeing Anthony. Dang, I think like I was just thinking about was, I mean, we was the hostess. I was up in the mansion of Neptune 21, and we was just like, just sitting there, just, I don't know, just taking in the moment with each other, just having the space to just be able to build and like, build in solitude. I feel like for myself right now, I've been integrating solitude, bringing in a lot of messages of why am I doing what I do, and just aligning with my purpose of that. And I had gratitude to share with a couple of soulkin, and we was able to just sit there and like make a meal. Like my friend Tony came over, she made some pasta, she had some vegetables, we had some watermelon, we had like a whole little time. We just sit there chilling, enjoying the movie. It's a little traumatic, but it was a movie. It wasn't the favorite thing I wanted to watch, but it was something that we was, you know, enticed to watch with together. And I think it just reminded me of like what togetherness brings. And when you mentioned like the living room, you know, I think it reminds me that life is meant to be lived. You know?
I was saying that I feel like I'm actively in the moment. Like this is the kickback that I'm like, yeah, so at one time we were all there, you know? And I think it was interesting being like sitting out and coming like into the vibe, you know, actually being present and sharing and looking at people and stuff like that and just enjoying the time and feeling relaxed and comfortable in my body. I think those are the things that we did. Right? Yes, everything is so live.
Right. Thanks, y'all. Thank you. I will ask you all to rise. Can you rise? Thank you. Get up for our storytellers. Thank you, storytellers. This wraps up the 24-hour hang for now. But to help transition into the next piece, I'll ask that everyone rise and maybe groove a little dance, shake the space around, so that way we can move your seats around and do what we gotta do. Thank you, y'all.
called Where You Stand, featuring Rhonda Moore and Doug Greene. Thank you.
Hi! So, you've heard the prompt. You've heard the prompt of what we were asked. And Rhonda and I started talking and started seeing where are our shared values. What is it that we want from art right now? And we said we want to be seen. So I want to be seen, and I want to see you. And so part of the way that we do that is we spend time together. And so while every moment that Rhonda and I spent together, we lit a candle just as a little marker of the time we spend together. And so I'm going to light this candle to mark the time that we're spending together. And so neither of us makes films, so we made a little film. So here we go.
This may never be a thing, but this may always be a thing. It's a video! It's a video. It's a I'm going to light a candle every time. Lighting the candle, our time spent together.
But they're a product of my cleaning of my eyebrow wax brush, and the smudge marks then make a certain reminder for me of something. So I've given them titles too. One of them is dedicated to Josephine Baker.
Ooh, I love Josephine Baker.
They're just what the figures look like, the brush marks, what they look like, and they look like things to me. And so I've named them, and I have about 12 or 13 of them. I haven't been consistent, but like all last year, and they're done on Scottex paper towels.
Okay.
Squares.
Well, that's fascinating. So the tattoo I was thinking about getting is, I have this family crest that's like my grandmother's maiden name. So my dad's mom, her maiden name was Deo, which always makes me think like, Deo. So I did a summer stock thing in Vermont, where I did the set and props and costumes and all this stuff. And so they're doing cabaret, and the Nazis take over. And so the director's thing is there's going to be so there's going to be a big Nazi flag to be unfurled on the stage to be like, the Nazis have taken over. So I'm like, well, where am I going to get a giant Nazi flag? Like, I'm not going to look for it on the internet. Like, it'd be like, yeah, and so I'm like, all right, I'll make one. So, and it was in high school. We were performing, right? So in the gymnasium, I make this giant Nazi flag, and after it dries, I pull it up, and there's a giant swastika painted on the gymnasium floor of a high school because it bled through. And I was trying to get out, coming out, and I was like,
In Vermont, you said?
yeah. So I painted the whole floor black because I was like, they're gonna be like, who painted over the basketball courts? And now there's not the circle, the set but I was like, but it's better than a giant swastika painted on it.
Yeah, that's what you told me what happened?
Oh, I didn't tell them, I just painted it black because I was like,
I didn't get in trouble.
oh, I got in trouble for being painted black,
Yeah.
but I feel like that was better than the swastika. But it's the same thing, to the point of I'll make a bigger mess to cover up my smaller mess,
Yeah. No, I'm just wondering, a whole gym floor black, did you get expelled?
Well, I mean, I wasn't a student there. Yeah, I don't know if they like had the theater back after that, but. My superpower and my kryptonite is smell. I can smell and recognize a smell and like know a smell for a person and know a smell for a memory. But also, I can walk down the street and be taken out by a terrible smell. And so, because the camera doesn't have smell vision, there's a light patchouli. There's a little bit of like a black tea. Yeah, and there's it's sweet, but it's more spicy. That's me.
May I have the lights, including the house lights, please? Now it's time for some interactive fun. So, some of you have markers, and some of you have name tags, but no one has both. So you have to find someone in the room who has the other thing that you need. You have to introduce yourself. You have to see them, even if for a moment. And then everyone puts on a name tag. Go team! No, but you're going to find someone who has 2 name tags. And so you're going to write your name, but you're going to need to find someone who has some name tags. So you're going to have to, maybe you're going to meet someone new, maybe it's an old friend. Who knows? Maybe it's a new old friend. Of course. My friends, Rhonda wrote poems and included some lavender from her garden, and I brought some temporary tattoos, and we'd love for you to take, one of each. Also, she wrote that. May I have this dance?
Yes, let's see. They smell so good from the lavender.
My friends, this is why duets need 2 people. So I want to see each of you individually, and I will do more on our break, but one love language is time spent. Another is gift giving. And so Rhonda made a poem for each of you and put some lavender from her garden. Gotta get that smell-o-vision. And I brought some temporary tattoos because one of the things we talked about was a way to get to know each other was she would come with me to get a tattoo. And that didn't get to happen, but it's not too late. It might still happen, just not in time for today. Seeing each other is not over. It's never over. We don't necessarily have to go with our plan. We can be in the kickback. We can feel the vibe. We can see each other in the actual moment. I'm so happy I got to see all of you here today. Mwah.
So now it's my pleasure to reintroduce our third duet of the day, Paul Giess and Black Buttafly. Who will be presenting a piece called Inside and Out, Finding Home. Thank you. Enjoy.
Still becoming who I am. Still becoming who I am.
Home is a person, it could be a place, it could be a thing. For me, it could be a memory. Most of the time, home is like rest. It also means rest. and love. All those things, you know, you can take anywhere with you. So I feel like home is anywhere. Home in the absence of a physical space is feeling connected to something or someone, regardless of space and time, too. The value of a physical space of home is building community within that home, building morals and values and principles within that home.
Then that's homey.
And love.
So much back to like knowing yourself.
I just feel like it has a different definition for everyone. We all don't connect and communicate with home the same way. Sometimes home can hurt us, and home can love us, and it can welcome us back. I think about people who don't necessarily have that feeling of being connected with a home, or people that make them feel like that. So how can we as people and artists invoke feelings like that in our work, through who we are and our everyday connections with people? What's your fondest memory of home? Like a
and put his arm, he would pretend he's a kangaroo on a camping trip. Playing cards with my grandma. There's one moment that, I'm like thinking about, I don't know if it's home or not, but then when my sister would like dress me up in girls' clothes and take my picture. So there's like a picture, I don't know if I remember it, that the picture
because how do all of those experiences, like, do you know the good experiences of home and the bad experiences, like, how do you carry that with you now? Like, how does that come out?
Yeah, I mean,
How do you release that as an adult?
I mean, some of it I've definitely been learning to, I've been learning just to take care of myself in a different way.
Yeah.
It's like why I talk about cooking some, because I'm cooking for myself, I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And trying to take care of my surroundings better, like just where I live, it's like, it's just hard. It can be hard sometimes just to do this music stuff and be taking care of yourself really well.
All of it.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
And then some of it, you know, when you were talking about the good and the bad, it's about, you know, I think it's more important. You know, no one has like a perfect upbringing, but it's more important how we react to it. And, you know,
how we use it.
And, you know, my family's been there throughout my life, and in positive ways, so it's like, you know, grateful to have like been part of like fluctuations of growth in different ways.
Yeah. Cool. What else do I have?
So much comes back to like knowing yourself.
Still becoming who I am.
So much comes back to like knowing yourself.
Welcome, Neptune 21 and Germán Vázquez performing Y Seguimos Aquí, and we still here. Give it up.
Y seguimos aquí, and we still here. Survival is not passive. It is resistance. It is presence. It is protest. In every beat of a drum, in every sway of fabric, in every breath carried from our ancestors to our bodies today. We declare, we remain. This is not a performance alone. This is a ceremony, a space transformed into sacred territory where our bodies live, where our spirits rise, where we remember and remind our cultures. Our rhythms, our bodies, and broken. From Black, Indigenous, American roots, from Puerto Rican shores, from every lineage that refused to disappear, we call on memory. We call on sound. We call on movement. To testify that survival is a sacred act. We are here. We have always been here. And we are still here. This is resistance made visible. This is a protest made presence. This is joy that refuses to be erased. And so we move. We sing. We remember. We rise. Y seguimos aquí. And we still here.
Ancestors calling, ancestors calling beyond the realm. Will you answer, or will you stay up in your shell? Ancestors calling, they talking to you. Ancestors calling, so what you gonna do? Ancestors calling to help you get through anything you know you want to pursue. Ancestors call the fire to your eyes, ignite the passion that lives deep inside. Ancestors call the shadows to the light, divine alliance which you must decide. Earth, water, fire, and air, our ancestors are here. Earth, water, fire, and air, our ancestors are here. Earth, water, fire, and air. Yes, our ancestors are here. Here. Step up in the space that got our own legacy. More than you see the positivity. Releasing truth of thought so I can be a higher me. Divinely protected, no parasitic entities. Golden chrysalis, you cannot steal my energy. When I say no, you better respect the boundary. I forgive, don't forget, cause I learned from the memory. Wisdom from experience is complimentary. Great thing comes to those who work, that's my philosophy. Divinely guided so I can fulfill my prophecy. I would never follow a wicked, twisted democracy. The media is just full of fear and hypocrisy. Now them in my life to live in mediocrity. I'd rather shine my heart and love with generosity. I understand that this world is full of duality, so I choose the best perspective to heal my psychology. Ancestors calling, ancestors calling beyond the realm. Yeah. Will you answer, or will you stay up in your shell? Yes, our ancestors calling, they talking to you. Ancestors calling, so what you gonna do? Ancestors calling to help you get through anything you know you want to pursue. Ancestors call the fire to your eyes, ignite the passion that lives deep inside. Ancestors call the shadows to the light, divine alliance, but you must decide. Ashe.
This is my story. This is my song. Oh yeah. Praising my Savior. This is my song. My song. Praising my Savior all the day long.
Look, I come from the Ellis dynasty. Rich lineage, carry my ancestors inside of me. As long as I got breath, I'ma keep making them proud of me. Never gotta pretend I'm exactly who I'm trying to be. Unapologetic, walking prophecy. Some might call it lucky to behold an anomaly. Never claim to know what's right, just know I angled it properly. Grateful for great grand visions to acquire them properties. Grew up in my family business, so I regard them honorably. Hold the hashtags. If you ever cross us, we'll get the last laugh. It's like swinging and missing just was a bad jab. And retaliation never been in my plan. I just get my lick back, putting it in God's hands. You know how that saying go about vengeance, well that's our stance. All except for my uncle, he let that fire blast. I love him but never judge him for how he weigh his options. We all gotta alter our own story until our time passes.
It was bathrooms and they said black only, white only. I remember seeing those signs. And I remember seeing if there were water fountains, seeing the same signs, white only, black only.
And I feel like the sequel of them indigenous beings, they rename into Negro. Deep southern roots, trees, sing of my people. They tended to their land so I harvest what they seeds grew. Reincarnated revolutionary, I'm legal. On the shoulders of giants, make my energy regal. Step to me crazy and you gon' witness how they breeze through portals, dimensions, they got my back like Cairo Neagles. I'm the ancient future indigo, here to relieve you. Talking to spirits, bliss me with frequencies to sing to. Medicine music to balance the scales from the evil. Strengthen my matriarch, help me spread my wings like eagles. Ancestors speaking through me, move in silence like real G's do. Yeah, check. This ain't my grandparents' revolution. I slapped the taste out your mouth if you get to acting stupid. Know what I said about vengeance when I was back in verse 2, but the Bible told me that we was God, so check the movement. Don't jump to no conclusions and we can avoid confusion. How about we talk about land rights if you want to talk solutions? We weren't all brought here by force. Native tribes can prove this. The ones that told the narratives don't want us to know what the truth is, to leave us clueless. But it's time we take back everything they stole. That's our culture, lineage, and our lands of gold. Try to whitewash our with them lies that they told, but these bloodlines too potent. It's time to take off. They done wage war on our villages and assassinated our leaders. They redlined our neighborhoods, held resources to incarcerated our brothers. They traumatized our sisters. Can't break the spirit of the chosen one. Yeah. Hold up, we ain't done yet. You at? I said we ain't done yet. Hell nah, we ain't done yet.
My name is Paul. I go by Paul. I'm a musician, an educator, a composer.
Yeah.
I think that's
That's
enough.
good. Yeah.
Sweet.
Peace. My name is Oluwafemi, or you can call me Femi for short. I'm a pattern artist, music and visual, and yeah. And this is Ade. What's your name?
Ade.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, I'm Chloe Marie. Movement artist primarily, but general desire of creation in any medium that chooses me in the moment.
Hi, my name is Neptune. I'm 21, and I just do. It went out on me. Okay.
The mic cut off.
Check.
Oh, there we go.
1, 2. Check. Okay, there we go. My name is Neptune 21. I'm an artist. I do stuff to make my mama proud.
That's right. That's right.
My name is Germán Vázquez. I am a visual artist. I'm a photographer as well, but for me, anything that comes my way that's art related, I'm definitely into it, and I'm always willing to learn and expand my artistry.
Hey y'all, my name is Buttafly. I was born Kayla Childs, so that's who I am. Musician, producer, singer-songwriter, composer, curator.
I'm Doug Greene, lowercase letters please. My father's a narcissist and I'm a junior. I am just in awe of all these artists up here. I work in lots of different disciplines, but working with people is really where it's at.
Word. Thank you. And y'all are going to share that mic. You're going to pass it quickly, and you're going to write. So when we asked for you all to come together, shout out to our programming committee again. Part of our process is we bring programming ideas to the programming committee. And what we did is we sourced names of artists that our programming committee were inspired by or thought would be a great fit for this inaugural residency in a project space. And once we selected all the artists, we paired them up and we gave them just one question and lots of free reign. And that question was, what art does this moment call for? So my first question to you all is, what moment are you meeting in your pieces? Because we didn't ask you to define it politically or joyfully or any particular way. There are a lot of moments happening right now in the US, in the world, and Philadelphia. So when you think about what moment you were meeting, when you started to create this work, and especially with your partner in mind, talk to us a little bit about that, please.
Could I just say something real quick? My partner can't be here. Her name's Rhonda and she's also very, very cool.
So can you say the question one more time?
Yeah, what moment were you meeting? So when we didn't define what art does this moment call for, what moment did you all feel like you were meeting when you were addressing that in your pieces?
I think for us was healing was really a big part of it all. A lot of the work that, in my experience, being part of the LGBTQIA community, a lot of the work that we typically see stems around trauma for us. And for me, I wanted to move past that a little bit. The work that I make has nothing to do with trauma, but trauma is part of what we all have to deal with to kind of grow up and, and change to be who we are today. So for me, it was a really important aspect to really focus on healing and showing that, we don't always have to be captured in that light, that there's more to us than just a typical, traumatic experience, the nude body, which is all great, but at the same time, it doesn't really define us all the way through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the other part of that for us was definitely presence. Germán, with his Puerto Rican roots and me having Black American indigenous roots, The healing is a huge part of that, you know, because the trauma definitely is generational. And it's not something that we have to sit in, but it is something that needs to be acknowledged, you know what I mean, in a way that we show up every day and being who we are, you know, unapologetically. So that Iseguimos Aquí, and we still here, is pretty much showing that lineage of like, yeah, we come from roots where, you know, we've experienced certain things, and we showing up right now to say we are the result of all of that, you know, generational work, generational trauma, generational healing, the brilliance that comes through our bloodline, and all of that. And for me, it was a huge part for me to also give acknowledgement to my ancestry as well, because, you feel me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
For sure, for sure. Thank you.
The moment of Femi and I's feels rooted in nostalgia, and I think it was a lift off of like what's an experience that maybe we've all had, which is general hanging and partying, and how those moments, I was thinking about this morning actually, about how those moments are the impetus for so much, and just being able to be supported and held in your like community of invitation to the apartment, to the kickback, is like extremely important to feeling the confidence to keep going, and how that, despite stage and like performance, is like you always have the living room as the memory that is transcends all time, all moments, but feels like a really important place. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw the question, it definitely rang as like, as the world is burning, what do you have to say as an artist? And I feel like I don't know that the world is burning any differently than it has. And so, what's my sanctuary? Where do I get life? Where do I even like live my politics?
Yeah.
And that's at the hangout and at the kickback. You know what I mean?
I think we were meeting like a personal moment in terms of exploring an idea of home and what home means to us individually, and how those things would commingle. And then it became some being in the space, some about the evolving home of the bride became part of the question. And I think it also, you know, when I first heard the question of like, what are we supposed to make in this moment? It also, you know, the personal is always political and has implications across the world. Just because Kayla and I were talking about who gets a home, who, you know, who's without a home, who does, why, these things, you know, it's part of the conversation.
Awesome, thank you.
I guess I'll talk. We all talk. So. I just heard so many good things, and I'm thinking about what the question was. The question was,
What moment were you meeting?
Are we meeting?
Yeah.
Well, personally, for me, within our duet partnership, I wanted to meet something that made me feel soft, because that's just not what the world is teaching us to have right now, softness. And we all remember what it felt like to be a child and to experience that at home. But home is a person, it's a place, it's a thing. It's here, it could be across the world, you know. It's just a feeling. It's something that's just, it's a feeling that is associated with the word. And the word can be an action, you know. We don't know what it is. We're trying to figure that out actively, and we want to continue exploring themes of home and, you know, why it's important for us as artists to communicate that to an audience and to share it amongst each other, because that's just who we are, you know. You don't even know who people really are until you find out how they were raised. And I was talking to someone out there about it, but you know, we not raised the same, so we have to talk about that. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I found all of it very healing, so thank you all very much, like, for real. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. I feel like, I'm not going to speak for Rhonda, but I think so much of it is about, the gaslight of it all is like making you feel like you're alone. And making you feel like you're on this like solitary journey. And so I think that for us, the moment we were meeting was, does art even matter? Do we matter? Like, what is the thing? Are we all alone? It's all so cosmic. But like really like in a way that is about like, oh, it is being with other people.
Yeah.
Is like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's it. That was the moment.
Definitely, yeah. We, I know that I observed some through lines in all of your work, and I think it's very interesting what we landed on in our own kind of way. So my next question is individual, and I like to hear from everyone, even if it's brief, and then I have one last question, and then I want to open it up to you all if you have questions or things that came up for you when witnessing the work today. The next question is, what feeds your personal artistic practice? Like, what inspires you? What fuels your creation and your creativity when you're starting from scratch? Which we started from scratch with this work. All of these are original works in terms of their iterations in these duets. So when you're completely starting from scratch or even improvising, what fuels that creativity? Just talk a little bit about your artistic processes individually.
I don't think there's any other way. It's like a internal need that is like there's no other way to deal with what's happening, and it's not really. For me, there's no other way. I'll keep it brief.
Things that fuel my artistic practice are living, experiencing real life. I think because we play so much music all the time, people think that we are robots, or sometimes we think that we are robots ourselves, and we don't get to have these. Sometimes you just want to go to the beach and sit at the water. Sometimes I want to watch TV. Sometimes I have to cry. And sometimes I just want to be alone. I want to go for a walk. And those are the moments where I can reflect and throw that into my art, my work. And there's nothing more important that I learned this year, in my 28th year of being alive, is like, you can't make art until you really live, until you experience things. You have to have something to talk about. We don't have anything to talk about until we go do things. So yeah.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Just what inspires or informs your artistic practice or your creative process?
For me, I think the lack of visibility for me is number one. And also just for me, I work as a form of therapy for me. Like, obviously, like, yes, you know, we get paid, great. But for me, like, I really, truly enjoy what I do. And I use it as a way to, like, deal with the things that I'm dealing with. Like, you know, like, the things that we don't speak about, like, I use my art as a way to heal through that and navigate me through those happy places, because sometimes, like, we tend to forget that we are human and that things do happen in our lives, and you know, things be happening, and you know, as artists, we don't often speak about those things. So for me, like, making photos and taking photos and traveling and really capturing moments that I, as you guys saw, and you know, in all these visuals, it's really what I really like to do. That keeps me going and it drives me.
I gotta say one thing. Right.
Or as much as you want.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
For sure.
I was gonna say my family, but if I had to say one thing, I was just gonna say Black people. I mean, on one hand, I don't feel like that needs to be explained, but on another hand, you know, it's the culture. It's, you know, how we move, how we talk, how we dance, you know, the ways that we've contributed to the earth, you know, and society, how we exist everywhere on this planet, you know, but, you know, we still considered a minority. Like, so, yeah. That's all I got.
Yep. Okay.
I am trying to give myself so much space to be inspired and to really lean into dreams and expansiveness, which I feel like my experience in learning a particular artistic practice has been so limiting and particular and goal-oriented and structured and correct, and I'm so anti all of that. And so I'm really inspired by shifting how we understand everything. And I really deeply am moved by humanity in that I think artistry is just like a true baseline for everyone. And I feel like we're all extremely capable of being artists, and I don't know how to tell people how to do that. I don't want to tell people what to do with that. But I really am like, it's there for you because you are human. And so I feel like my practices are, I want people to, when they witness me, know that they have access to that too in their own way also. But it's very like, I don't want there to be a separation. I'm like, don't look at me and feel like I'm doing a different thing. Like, don't watch me. Like, know that inside of you and what you're experiencing, there's something that you can also build if you take that time, which like unfortunately in the society, really they're like, there is no time, but I'm like, make that time. And how do you make that time? And how do we make time together for each other to make that time? And I feel like, you know, that's been a recent discovery for me as inspiration goes, really recent, maybe like as this year, last year maybe. And I've been an artist for such a long time, you know, but yeah, the inspiration is a mirrored experience for sure.
For sure.
I think I'm inspired the most by the inevitable presence of patterns. One of those patterns is that, to echo Chloe's sentiment, every human being is an artist, does artistic things all the time. And the art you make is based on how much time and effort and thought and love you put into it. Yeah. And so I need artistic practice in order for my life to be healthy. That's how it works for me. And I'm inspired by the fact that my ancestors did it, my peers do it, my kid does it, you know, random birds in the jungle do it.
Yeah.
You know, so like, why not?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think for me, a lot of the inspiration of my work is just seeing the world and seeing the imprint that I want to leave on it, and what that looks like and what that sounds like, and how can the things I make, you know, have even a small positive effect on the world, and encourage other folks to do the same.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. All right. So my last question to the group, and everyone does not have to answer it. So it's a two-part question. So answer the part that makes the most sense to you. What would a larger work look like if you had more time? Speaking specifically about the work that you began to create here in this residency, what would a larger work look like? And if you want to answer it individually, which is totally allowed, in what ways were you, y'all are funny, in what ways were you inspired to maybe extend some ideas that came up in the work with your partner, even as an individual? So the overall question is really just beyond this, what does an expansion of this present work that started here look like for you individually or collectively? Even if it's just a scenario, guys, okay? Just dream with me for a minute.
I think it's bringing in
the people who live here around the bride. I think it's about making it a thing, like a community that is about like the people who live here, bringing in people who are not just patrons, not just board members, not just friends of artists, but making it all of these pieces. I would expand it to include more of the people who live here.
Okay, thank you.
In terms of, I'm going to answer the first part of that question. In terms of the project, and what I hope that we get to at some point, I really want to make a short film about home. Very beautiful montages and collages and stills of people that are closest to us, food and, things like that. And yeah, what that looks like for me. I love Spike Lee. I'm very inspired by him and Terrence Blanchard. I love the work that he does for movies, and I've been scoring films this year, thankfully. And I really want to explore what it looks like to make it and make the music for it around this subject.
You see it? No? Not concerned. I can say something.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I really would love to continue to make moments of healing like this that we just showed you, but also really like getting deeper into it and connecting the African Puerto Rican diaspora that exists there that no one really knows about, and connecting that with the African diaspora here, and I think that's really important because a lot of people really don't understand that the huge impact that we have in Puerto Rico when it comes to the African diaspora. So I think that's also very important for me. And realistically, if I have unlimited funds, of course, I would be, making this set, huge, more fabric, more movement, just more elements to really give you that moment of healing, as well as everything that was happening today all coming together. I think it's just really important to continue to do these moments, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever you want to do it. But I think it's important to really continue to do this in a way where it's very intimate like this, but also knowledgeable.
That was amazing. I definitely agree with more fabrics. All right, everybody close your eyes for a moment, right? Just imagine being in a room and there's this dim, deep blue light shining, in the ambiance. And then also all of the walls surrounding you, including the floor and the ceiling, have the projections that you saw up here on the screen. So the ocean and the pictures of family members and the pictures of, Puerto Rican culture and fashion, I just imagine that being a completely immersive experience. You can open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I just imagine that being a completely immersive experience, and just walking, the audience being able to move through these fabrics as well. So it's like the stage is no real stage, Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So I just imagine the audience being a part of the performance in some way as well, just for that level of connectedness. Yeah.
She said icebox space. Icebox space.
Icebox.
Icebox. Okay, I have so many thoughts. I want to say that I really believe in everyone's expansiveness of these projects, and I also thought the icebox, and I'm thank you for the work that you all are doing and supporting us here, because I'm I want to do that too. I hear all of you talking about this, and I'm yes, let's make it happen. Anyways, okay. The 24-hour hang is called the 24-hour hang because when Femi and I first thought about this, we forgot about the 15-minute limitation. And we were like, okay, if you could do everything you wanted to do, what's everything we want to do? And we were an all-day hangout. 24 hours, people coming into a space, having things to do, things to reflect on. And we were giving ourselves characters. We were we would be scientists, like observing the people, and then we would make it this like meta thing where then we like talk to them about how they are in these situations, and then we had these other ideas for projection where Femi was talking about like the technology of like where you could move in front of the projection and it could like pick up on your movement, and we wanted it to be this like really like sick epic like, which is it will be the iteration of it will be that it's like this iteration of like layering of being in space together while also being observed, and surveillance era, which we're all really experiencing the expansion of that technologically, and like we were really trying to like tap into this, but we were like, okay, 15 minutes.
Right.
No, it's okay. I think we really, I was reflecting a little bit today, and I'm like, there are so many characters at the hang, and there's so many layers at the hang. So this is the 24-hour hang part 1 storytellers. So I also want to thank the people who shared their stories, because at a hang, that's such an important part of the kickback. The people sitting and just telling memories and talking, and that is intergenerational. You know, like the old heads are telling stories at the party. That, you know, that's all they're doing. You know, that aspect of the hang, and the way that the kids reflect that, you know, that's like what it is. So this is like the part 1 of that. But there's like so many parts. We have notes.
Right.
We have notes. It's written. Yeah.
Right. Cheyenne let us down real easy. She listened. She listened very carefully.
You did. You let us talk.
She was like, you guys have 15 minutes.
Right.
Listen, we know we can't do 24 hours, but a couple of hours, like all day.
Right.
We're like 12.
I think part of what informed my interest in Chloe and I's idea was that as like a DJ and a music producer, a lot of how we like share intelligence is by hanging out. And that's just it. It's like a lot of how I got trained was just like hanging out with, going over to some other DJ's house. You know, like my apartment didn't have a TV. It had like turntables where the TV was supposed to be. We would just hang out. And when one DJ was tired, the next one picked up. And like one person went out and got food. Someone, you know what I mean? There's someone showing someone a video on the side. Someone comes in with an issue. We all talk about it. You know what I mean? So that, and then, you know, my friends groups are very much like that. Are people who love to chill. And I feel like if there's anything I could wish on anyone else is the kind of feeling I get after I've been in my homie's crib all day at a potluck, running into everybody and giving everybody flowers. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, oh dude, I seen you last week, blah, blah, blah. It's just like that kind of joy, that kind of sanctuary, that kind of place. I would wish those types of vibes on anybody. And so, yeah, I feel like this looks like it could happen anywhere. I'm already a part of the EMM, like WKDU, like disco marathon, like, or electronic music marathon. Every year, they get a bunch of DJs to spin for 72 hours straight on radio. And so I'm like, we can easily have a space where different people and different things are available for the public to come in and share and hold court and have a safe space and talk about issues or just chill. Like, you know, leave better than when you came. Yeah, and I feel like, you know, whether it's 10 hours or 12 hours or 24 or 48, like it's not impossible as long as we have the space and we have people that are interested.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess thinking about an expansion of the work, I like think about, there's a little like oral history making part of the process that was nice. I love hearing about other people's ideas of home. I was talking to Nina some about it because I'm like, I need a homier home, and how do I make my home more homey? So I really like that, and I really like the idea of sharing that with other people. Because I think there's a lot of culture in home, and there's a lot of, and it's like a really nice place to, how do we disrupt the things that we take for granted? at least that's like been part of like my like reassessing myself and where I am, and what are the things I'm taking for granted that can be let go of or grown upon. And then making music with Kayla is dreaming. So,
yeah. Awesome. All right, now we're just gonna open up for a couple of audience questions. While y'all are thinking, just in case y'all are shy, I wanna give a very special shout out to Cheyenne Barboza, program and production manager, who put this project on her back. She was the main point of contact, the first point of contact, the coordinator, the technical, everything, this, that, bringing a skill set that reaches far beyond and through the bride. So we just want to give you some flowers today and thank you so much, Cheyenne, for all the amazing work that you did. Yes. Also, just a quick shout out, Gabriel Ramirez is in the back holding us down. Thank you so much, Gabe. An incredible poet and artist, Matt Little, Sienna, so many people contributed to today. We have Chip in the building as well, Bob Adamski, okay? Oh, give thanks. Oh, okay, give thanks. Yeah, I'll just say my little comment, and y'all better not be shy, because if I throw this to y'all, and y'all like, I'm gonna be disappointed. I need one question at least. But I'll give a comment and say that for me as an artist, some people know me as Lyrispect, it was really nice to witness y'all's process unfold, how you work through a problem, how you figure out a workaround, what point of access that you wanted to answer the question with. And for Laurel, the freedom that the artist had to just go, right? And create and to see what grows when it's not a bunch of parameters and strictness and, right? And just what grows when you just throw some water and some sunlight, a little bit of money. On it, you know, so I was definitely inspired by just watching that process unfold. Y'all are always gonna live in our hearts forever because y'all blessed the space as the first performers, the first residency of the Painted Bride Project space. So in closing, because I'm about to get in my feelings for a minute, I'm opening it up to y'all. Questions, ideas, individual artists, however you want to do it. We'll start with Harriet. Yes. Okay, I got you. Give me the mic. Chloe, you're in trouble. Here you go.
Oh, God, mics scare me. So first I want to thank you all because this was just brilliant, and also want to say that talkbacks generally make me crazy. I think, like, how can I sneak out of the space? But this is, like, I think the best talkback I've ever been at. So bravo to you all. And now I have a question. And the question is, what surprised you? What surprised you about the work with your partner? Because I think none of you knew each other or hadn't worked with each other before, and so what's something that surprised you in your opportunity to work together?
Thank you. Oh, all right, I have to give it back. Right. Here you go.
Yeah, Chloe. No. I think, well, not even what I think. As a DJ, often you take participation for granted, right? Because you're there and you're doing your thing and the people are dancing and it's like, the dynamic is interesting. And I feel like Chloe brought like the intense desire to involve our spectators in, she was like participation. And I feel like I came to it thinking, well, I'm gonna answer the prompt. We're gonna answer the prompt and then they're gonna watch. And she was like, no, they're gonna be a part of it. And I was like, interesting. But now I see that as we're considering a larger format of the idea, that's like actually the nucleus of what we should be thinking about is how we can get people to participate. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. Yeah.
One more question. We'll let you respond and we can take one more question from the audience.
Okay.
Yes.
For me, I think what I realized working with Neptune was how connected we were. Although I've never met Neptune, but funny part is that I photographed her friends, and then come to find out, she was like, oh, you photographed them, and then we kind of realized, like, okay, we're in the same circle. I think it was just connecting that fact that we were just like in the same page when it came to the work and what we wanted to showcase. And although like, you know, like I was away, then I came back, then she went away, and she came back, we still kept connected, we still worked through it with, you know, Wi-Fi problems, like everything, but we were able to still come together, meet up, really talk about the ideas, and also like the visuals, because, you know, the visuals that I did, and she did hers visuals separately, so they kind of just like blended in so beautifully together, and I was just like,
really
yeah,
did.
like we locked in forever.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. Thank you, thank you. One more question. Yes.
I just want to say shout out, Paul.
Shout out, shout out, shout out.
Right though.
Hey y'all, I just wanted to thank you. I've really been able to be present in my body based on y'all's performances, so thank you. I give my gratitude. So there's this thought that I'm having where it's kind of like how God will give us an opportunity that's in alignment with our purpose or what we're needing to know within like the certain chapter that we're experiencing. So I wanted to know if there was an alignment of something that you're learning that correlated with this project.
Thank you. You're beautiful.
Thanks for asking that, because I ponder and pray about this a lot all the time. I grew up in church, born and raised. I've played for forever, played music, made music before I could speak. So I've always felt like that is music is always the car that will drive me to the real thing, where I need to go and who I will be in the next 30, 50 years, whatever. But I think this process in particular was teaching me, keep being a leader. Because I do believe that I am a leader, and I'm definitely influential to myself, but I try to share things that are worth people being impacted by. And everybody doesn't have that responsibility. They don't feel like they are called to be responsible to lead in their communities and whatever, but as an artist who makes music, it's bigger than streaming, it's bigger than signing to a label, it's about talking to y'all. For me, it's about communicating like this and finding new ways to experience our art. And from an audience perspective and from me, because I need to feed myself in order to feed y'all. And this project did that for me. So just, the call for being responsible in our communities as musicians and artists and dancers, all of this is so important. And the next, we are the next, whatever is about to happen in Philadelphia. It always comes back around every however many years, So I feel like this is important. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Awesome. Yes.
Pass the mic right to me. You said, what is it teaching us? I feel like this process has actually been teaching me a lot. And just in the last 2 weeks specifically, I've had some very rich experiences abroad. And one of the things similar to today, it just pushed me more to stand firm in my truth, regardless of who you feel is watching, because transparently sometimes being a melanated person and speaking on things that are very specific to the Black experience, can make some people uncomfortable, and sometimes I think as an artist that wants to be digestible, it's easy to minimize yourself and not be 100% like 10 toes rooted in your story and show up and tell the story how it should be told, But I think that the Most High has really granted me with a certain level of grace and power to be able to stand firm
in my truth and talk about my history and talk about my family and my lineage without, worrying about what anybody's opinions of it is. So I think like that's been the most like teachable lesson for me in this experience overall.
I have so many thoughts. Okay, one thing I've been thinking a lot about personally in general is there's always this level of how much effort do I put into something I want, and how much do I let myself continue being and seeing what comes. So like sort of like the force and momentum of trying to meet something and then like being where I'm at and letting the things meet me is like honestly like the biggest life contemplation for me of like my effort, my energy, where is it going? And I feel like space is so important. So like I feel like there was so much confidence in being like, whatever happens will happen. We always have thoughts, we're always thinking about things. And what are we pulling out of the air in this moment? And it will be right, and it won't need to be inside of a binary. I'm also really like, there's no binary of like, it's the right time, it's the wrong time. It's just like, it's the time, all the time. In that moment, it's right. And like the pressure to meet things at a force that is not stable or capable for you is so harmful. So I'm just trying to really like sit in the moments of being like, this is how much time I've spent already crafting the artistic practice as it is, and what is going to come. And such beautiful things have come, like this project. Like we were chosen, we were nominated. And what have I been doing? I've been doing me, like the whole time, really. And have been thankfully recognized and have been now brought into this space. And it's just like, wow, you can. And there are, I will say, some situations where you should put momentum. And those situations are maybe living more inside of a capitalistic, situation, and that's what that calls for. But in the artistic sense, sometimes there's this real, like, just being present, being yourself, staying grounded, and then those things do find you, because that's like the inherent truth of the making and of the spaces that like can bring you into this. It can only happen when you're rooted in this like reality that is your own time outside of the time of other things,
Yeah.
It brought me Femi.
Yes.
And y'all.
All right.
And y'all.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Another round of applause for everybody. All right. Listen. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us today. Special shout out, I see Tash, Rayon, our community engagement specialist. Wave your hand. I just want y'all to stick around for a quick group photo. Thank y'all for coming out. The next event we have is on September 13th at Paul Robeson House through our Voices of 52nd Street project. It is celebrating the food of 52nd Street and the restaurateurs. And then we have 3 jazz shows. We have 3 jazz shows coming up at the Falser Club. What am I? Okay, we got the sign on the table for the Falser Club shows. And you.
I don't need the mic.
Okay, yes.
First of all, I just wanted to say shout out to my indigo brother, Sheen.
Hey, give it up for Sheen.
And that amazing sound bag.
Yes.
And we didn't talk about this as a group, but I think, I can feel the energy, and I feel like, we all just want to say thank you to all of y'all for coming out today and sharing this space with us, because it's been a really nice time. Some of y'all stayed from the beginning to the end. So it's nice to, be able to be in that space. And also thank you to the Painted Bride. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
And our good brother behind the camera too, from East Philly.
Yes, media. Yeah. Thank you. Neptune, we're going to get you back, the host, I promise. I love it. So I've just been told that because this space is so new, if you would like to see the upstairs, Gabriel Ramirez will be walking folk up so you can take a peek at the second part of our project space. Again, the next shows are on September 13th and September 27th. Check us out on paintedbride.org or visit us on Instagram. Thank you so much and have a beautiful night.